Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukatali.
Joy, good morning to you. This is Newsline, live as always from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And here is the winning moment.
And that will do it. Famous win, a win that keeps them in the tournament. Angelo Matthews raises his bat in triumph. He finishes unbeaten on...
And that was an absolutely winning moment. And Angelo Matthews is here.
Important game for us. No one really expected us to win. That took us, that took a lot of pressure off ourselves, and we just, went out there, expressed ourselves, and you can see what we can do when we play with a lot of freedom.
And of course, worldwide celebrations, that absolutely wonderful victory for Sri Lanka from all over the world. That's the rising success of the Sri Lanka cricket team, which is absolutely good news and a binding factor for all in Sri Lanka and all those Sri Lankans all around the world. And this is a celebration, the scenes amidst the elections, the scenes outside the Oval. Wonderful bits of events there, celebrating that wonderful cricket victory for Sri Lanka over India. And in this rising times of extremism and so on, and the events that have happened in Qatar, we posed the question, is extremism rising in Sri Lanka too? And to discuss that and a little bit more is Mr. Azad Salih, the leader of the National Unity Alliance. Very good morning to you, Mr. Salih.
Good morning for us.
And thank you very much for taking the time out and coming here.
Thank you.
Now then, Mr. Salih, what's going on? There is trouble sort of brewing in Qatar. There isn't any fighting, and we should be joining the Sri Lanka ambassador to Qatar, Ambassador A.S.P. Lienage, shortly. But in the meantime, what's your take? Why is this happening in Qatar? Qatar also is investing a lot of money.
Qatar is investing a lot of money. I think one of the fastest developing country in the Middle East, Qatar has been. So that is also one of the issues that is there. And moreover, Saudi and Qatar has been in problem for the last 20 years. And they have not been seeing eye to eye. And also others, because it's Islamic State, the other countries around it also has joined them. Yeah. And trying to say that Qatar is trying to provoke, or Qatar is supporting extremism.
Yes.
So these are only said by statements. Up to today they have not proved anything. So we are also waiting for somebody to prove that Qatar has been involved, because we denounce extremism in all forms. Even in Sri Lanka, let it be the Buddhist extremism, the Hindu extremism, Muslim extremism, or the Christian extremism. Extremism has to be totally out. We also condemn all activities of the ISIS and also Al-Qaeda, or whatever extreme they may call themselves as, because extremism is not what Islam is.
There is and also extremism, there is no place in extremism in any religion, and there is certainly no place for extremism in democracy.
Of
and
course.
That is what you, I, and everybody else espouses.
And also Islam is very clear. Islam is a very peaceful country, and Islam a peaceful religion, and Islam denounces any form of extremism.
We already have a question from a viewer. Isn't it better for the Muslim community living so close with the Sinhalese in this country to denounce the ISIS movement publicly and jointly work against terrorism, which you've just done? But that's the sentiment that we're getting out from there.
I mean, this is what everybody in the country, let it be the majority or the minority communities, all feel that all forms of extremism must be denounced, and we have to live unitedly.
And there is the same viewer sending the second part of that message. This might strengthen the unity and help suppress the fanaticism of certain Sinhalese groups.
Exactly. And when we see the present situation, you can see a lot of Sinhalese coming up and making statements against this so-called religious organization that is trying to create extremism in the country and to create a problem for the minorities. So it's always good, and even the president's statement you saw very clear. If the police cannot handle it, I will hand over this to the army.
Well, so that was as usual, our president steps in and whacks it right where it matters, which is very good news. Now then, what about this other thing here, Mr. Sali? John Amaratunga, did you listen to him yesterday abusing this journalist in absolute filth?
I just saw it on the slide. I have not gone into detail. If you have a clip, I don't mind seeing it.
Right, I should say, I'm not going to waste valuable airtime on this disgrace of a person who's now turned out to be cabinet minister. In all fairness, John Amaratunga should be removed from office, banished not only from office, but he should be removed, should be sacked from the party. Because this is simply...
I think John Amaratunga has already made a statement 1 week ago that he's going to step down. Before he resigns, he's going to step down and hand over to the young people who are there.
Well, I just wanted to mention that because we got loads of messages here about that as well. But there's another message here. Actually, we will try to play that clip to hopefully the control room's listening in, and let's play the clip of John Amaratunga's disgraceful statement against that member of the media. We will play that to you during this program whilst people in the control room look for it. In the meantime, we want to say here, there's so many messages here coming in. We have somebody saying that the Sri Lanka's convincing run chase was a clear example of how new and young players can bring a game-changing output to the game and a failing national team. The same can be applied for politics. Some new brooms do sweep well. Time for some seniors to retire, I think. And that was from one of our co-hosts of the Morning Fix. This was from Asanka. Now then, we have that clip, that disgraceful conduct by John Amaratunga.
Locals met with the minister at his party office in Kandana for discussion on garbage disposal. The locals also handed over a letter to the minister. Following the discussion, media personnel questioned the minister of waste disposal in Bopitiya Wattala.
Absolutely disgraceful conduct here, and that is from a cabinet minister, Mr. Sali. Now, if the Prime Minister is committed to better governance and a unity and to an equitable playing field for all, which is what they promised us, don't you think that John Amaratunga should have been sacked yesterday? Not
Faraz, you just tell me what they promised. Have they delivered to us first?
But that's a poor excuse for not doing
today,
this.
they have not done anything.
No, but we can't keep saying, when you ask any minister, it's always, but they did it. You speak to the former finance minister, he said the bond matter was never quantified. Well, absolute rubbish. It was quantified by the Auditor General himself. And, and then they talk about Ajit Niwad Kabra. Well, if he's done something wrong, charge him.
Exactly.
But don't keep going to the past, because that's a poor yardstick. That bar is far too low. We want action today, not about yesterday. And this rising extremism isn't only to do with religion. It is a rising extremism in the way you can see the way these people who are now secure in office, now they've got the reins of power, and this is how they abuse it. And they think that by shouting at the media that they can fix the news. But that's not going to happen, is it?
That's not going to happen, and it's going to be counterproductive.
It will be. It will be. Now then, there's another one here. One viewer says that those who accused of extremism have received U.S. support. Is that also one of the problems?
Yeah, I have already openly said that.
Yeah.
There are organizations that help extremism. So what I feel now with this new regiment, I may call the new regiment, after sending the Rajapaksa regiment, last 2.5 years, this government has failed to go into those details. There are extremism from all corners, and there are funding coming in. And the government's intelligence is not doing anything. And even Dave yesterday, when I was talking to the president, I told him that they have to go into details of these organizations, what they are doing, from where they are getting money, all this. Now, government and the president is also accusing a group of people who are doing all this. But where is the proof?
I'm listening to you, but I've also just read a message from a viewer. He says that you look like Saddam Hussein.
Oh, good. That's good. That of course, I really appreciate.
Right. Now then, we are joined live by the Sri Lanka ambassador to Qatar, to the state of Qatar, Mr. ASP Lianage, and it's very early morning out there, but he's been kind enough to join us, because obviously it's a matter of some importance to us. Very good morning to you, Ambassador Lianage.
Good morning to you.
Thank you for joining us. Tell me, Ambassador, what's the situation in Qatar? Is there trouble? Are the Sri Lankan workers safe? Are the people in Qatar safe? What exactly is going on?
At present, there is nothing to say special things. Everything is going smoothly in Qatar. Country is very peaceful, and the Qatarian government has assured that there is enough of food and water for several months. Now the supermarkets are normal. So Sri Lankan jobs are safe. They live happily.
And Ambassador, so there's plenty of food, there's plenty of water.
Because you know why? Very firstly, because of that, Arthika Sambardaka, the people were very, excited and they rushed. But at the moment, every supermarket you can buy anything for normal rate.
And the daily life carries on normally.
Yeah, the daily life is smoothly going on. No change, nothing at all. Because the Sri Lankan people, they give a lot of calls and they ask several questions about, they are more excited. But in this country, Sri Lankans are normal, and the whole country is very peaceful.
That's good. And obviously you have got several telephone lines open in case loved ones, friends, families, irate mother-in-laws, anyone can call your embassy and find out what's happening to their people. Is that right?
Yeah. Now, as the ambassador, for any update, personally you can contact me on my number. Double naught 974 55 56 4936.
Ambassador, thank you very much. We'll put that on our screen shortly. And thank you very much for being up so early and to talking to Newsline live from Doha in Qatar. Thank you very much, Ambassador Lianage. And that was the ambassador for talking about how safe it is. So there's apparently
there is no problem whatsoever. Only the borders have been closed.
Right.
And people living in Saudi, the Qataris living in Saudi, they are given them time to leave the country.
Yeah.
Like that. I think this the Arab nations can't afford this.
Right.
They have to immediately come to a compromise and settle this issue, because mostly it is the people who travel from the borders that will be affected. Other than that, Qatar as a country will not be affected, because Qatar is a very fast developing country with so many international events coming up in 2020.
Indeed, and they're spending billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars, and what they feel is that their support towards Hezbollah, their support towards Iran, and support towards Hafez al-Assad is the core issue that they are having.
Now then, whilst that is going on, the countries, of course, our countries, of course, are happy that our people are safe.
Well, the largest number of Sri Lankans are in Qatar.
Indeed. I think in the Gulf alone we have 488,000.
488, but the highest is in Qatar now.
Indeed, and that's because they're spending a lot of money. Now then, the calls, the SMSs are coming in. One of them is asking, who is keeping Yanisara Tera?
Very good question. From the beginning, the protection was given by none other than the Justice Minister. Let me be very frank and very straight, because we went to him.
This Justice Minister?
Yes, Vijayadasa Rajapaksa. We went and met him and told him that this is going on and you have to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
But I never thought that the minister will interfere with the courts. I never thought the minister will interfere with the police. I never thought the minister will totally intervene with the Attorney General's department, because a person who is of contempt has to appear in court. Let it be Faraz, let it be Ranasinghe, let it be Somasundaram, let it be a Mohammed.
Yeah.
Everybody has to respect court. Nobody is above the law. Everybody is below the law. But a contempt case, this person does not appear. Immediately the court gives him another date. What has to happen in a court of law is that immediate warrant has to be issued if that person who is on contempt does not appear in court. That is the law. But they did not do that.
Why is
the second day?
Law?
That's what I'm saying. This law cannot be different to Jnanasara and to Azad Sali.
Right.
It has to be the same. Because I have also gone to the Court of Appeal on a contempt charge.
Yeah.
Right? So I know how I faced the situation there, and why Jnanasara is not facing the same situation. It's a crime, and it's killing the judiciary. By this interference, killing the judiciary. Then what happens? Next day, on the 31st of last month, he is supposed to come again. Then the lawyer goes and says, I'm sorry, my client is sick, he can't come to court.
Right.
And he's admitted to hospital. The Attorney General Department does not question as to which hospital is he staying, which hospital he has been warded, because he has to be arrested because he is under warrant. He has to be arrested.
Do you think the AG's department is a bit intimidated?
Totally. Because they did not ask the court, where is he, we have to arrest him. Now again they have put it on the 16th. So 16th is another 6 days time. Let us wait and see whether he is going to be brought in. So that means justice delayed is justice denied. Right? So this attitude of the government is wrong, because if they can see where Prabhakaran was and catch him, it's very difficult for the government to catch Jnanasara. It's a joke. So there is some political patronage given, especially by the government, and who is behind it? Another minister spoke to me, can't be settled. We are for a settlement. We can settle anything, but first and foremost, if somebody is critical of any god, if they were for whatever religion they may be. Now once a Muslim guy spoke against Lord Buddha, It was I who made the complaint and got him arrested. The agreement that the police and I had was, you have to make 2 complaints against the Muslim and Nyanasara, and Nyanasara also will be taken into custody at the same time. But what happened?
It doesn't sound too good when you say that the agreement that I had with the police. You can't have an agreement.
No, why I say is agreement? When we made when we went to make a complaint, they said in Sri Lanka there is a problem. 2 communities have been fighting, and two extremists have made 2 statements. If you make a complaint against both, we will arrest both simultaneously. They told us. And what did they do? They arrested the Muslim guy. He was remanded for 3 weeks, but Nyanasara was never arrested. And now, still, there are small people coming and making statements. Now the police has given a statement saying that anybody writing anything against any religion on websites or WhatsApp, they will be arrested. Up to today, not a single person has been arrested for us. Now we went to the cyber crimes unit. We went and told them 87 sites against Muslims. Told them and gave them. They said, go make a complaint, then they will write to us, we will see. But these things you can't be waiting and seeing. These things have to be done immediately.
We have another viewer who's sending us a message saying that both Yanasara Thera and Azad Saleh should be put in one room and let them sort it out.
There is nothing to sort out, Faraz. I am loved by the Sinhalese, right? Yanasara is not loved by the Sinhalese, no first. Now he speaks against his own Mahanayakas, right? When he speaks against, we don't speak like that. We don't need to be put in one room to discuss. But there is nothing personal that I and Nyanasara have. But the problem is, how can somebody publicly come and criticize another religion? How can he come and criticize Allah? Nobody can do that. So we want him punished for that first. After that we will talk. Because the majority community is a very lovable community. The Sinhalese, 99% of the Sinhala community is so lovable. You can do business with him, you can travel with him, you can eat with him in one plate. All that is there, and that is continuing with the majority Sinhala community. So we have no issues with the majority community. The Muslims are doing business with them. They are eating together, sitting together, traveling together, doing business together. So there is no issue. But this, a few people, as you mentioned earlier, money is coming from Norway. How did this money come? I have been questioning this for the last 3.5 to 4 years. During Mahinda Rajapaksa regiment also, Rajitha who exposed. Rajitha as the minister who exposed, and Nyanasara got help from Norway because Arne Fjørtoft was the leader of a political party in Norway. He made all the arrangements. He only got him the visa to go to the US. So all fundings have come. So we are telling the government, look into this.
But then do we have a strong enough Minister of Law and Order? He's in charge of the police and so on.
Actually speaking, he comes for the meetings. When the President summoned the meeting with all the heads of all religious groups, he comes and keeping the IGP, is blaming the IGP that he is not taking any action. My question is this a drama? Now 27 incidents have taken place. Burning of mosque, burning of business institution, several incidents. But only now, one guy has been caught and he has accepted that he burned 4 business establishments in the Nugiyagoda area. So now we have to see, at 10 o'clock I am supposed to go to the police station today, to see who is behind this person. Because the President is accusing, the President of the country is accusing that the JO is behind this. So I have told the President, we have to prove it. So let's prove that JO is behind.
The number of comments coming in. One of them is asking you whether you would ask John Amaratunga to resign.
If John Amaratunga has gone personal against the media or the language,
I've shown you the clip.
If he has gone, I've seen it. No, he has to go. I mean, he has. That's what I said. One week ago, I saw him saying that it's high time that he goes home and he wants to resign and give. So might be with his health condition he had decided to go, and then he might be
going out with a bang.
Yeah, I think that.
Boy, goodness me. Another one is complaining that our program is not on Facebook nor is it online. There is a technical problem. We do apologize for that, but we are live on the box on TV. Now then, another one says John Amaratunga is the minister in charge of Christian affairs. His thuggery behavior is not acceptable. He must go. Agreed?
Say not only him, let it be anybody for that matter. Now, if you take the present cabinet, how many are like this? How many are like this? Now, see, the entire government came with a big promise of good governance. Where is the good governance? You see what Mr. Malik Samarakram is doing? That is more than terrorism.
What is he doing?
He is robbing the whole country.
My goodness me, such
Right.
extreme
Such
statements.
an extreme statement. You saw, your channel came up with that cement deal. Right? So many people waiting to start a cement plant in this country, overlooking all that, it just comes. That is why Ravi was removed. I have very openly said. Why was Ravi removed? What was the cabinet reshuffle?
That's not one.
Did this cabinet reshuffle be a reshuffle? Was everybody reshuffled? No. Only just two heads were changed, where Mr. Mangala Samaravira himself is coming and saying, this shoe is too big for me. So, I mean, we did not want any statement like that coming.
Another viewer is reminding us, I think, saying that Mr. Saleh took the risk of fighting for the government. Yanusera never did that.
Exactly. And this is my hurt. And I have told the President very clearly that we as a community, the minorities that elected you to power.
Yes.
And what is happening? Where is law and order? We want everybody. Let it be Mohammed, PSN, Rana Singh, anybody. Everybody must be below the law.
But there's another viewer who says that you can rest assured that the UNP leadership will sweep this under the carpet, just like the bond issue.
Exactly, that is happening. This is what, because if you take the FCID, they feel that Ranil Wickremesinghe is controlling that. If you take the police, they feel that the UNP is controlling that and not allowing the right thing to happen. There is accusation. Yeah. Even the SLPS, even the President is saying that.
Another viewer says, we Christians are outraged. We'll respect the President if he is removed from that post, i.e. if John Amaratunga is removed.
I think they must immediately hold an inquiry. Mr. Mangala Samaravira is the Minister of Media. He must take it up immediately because it comes under his ministry. And
but we don't want committees, Mr. Saleh.
See, UNP is full of committees.
Yeah, we know that.
UNP is full of committees and nothing comes out of the committee. Yeah. Just it goes into the Hamas box.
Yes.
It will just go into the Hamas box. It's not that. There is a president. See, I mean, this is the best time that things can happen because you have a president from a different party. You have the Prime Minister from a different party. And if there is something wrong happening, it is always the President who has to take the decision. So President cannot get to a side and say that Ranil is doing. No. You are the leader people voted for. You are the Minister of Defence. You are the head of the government. So it is his responsibility to not only prove good governance, because that is one of the assurance that he gave us. See, I always said that if the President had remained a neutral person, this country would have gone somewhere else without going into this cheap SLP leadership.
Well, you know, you are known for your you're known for your sort of outspoken views, which is good.
See, Faraz, I always said, let it be Mahinda Rajapaksa, let it be Maithripala season, let it be Ranil Wickremesinghe. Yeah. I don't care. All what I care is what you promise has to be delivered.
So how far
the people of this country very clearly gave a very clear mandate, especially the minorities. The Tamil Muslim community gave their necks out to Maithripala Sirisena, and it is his responsibility to protect them also.
So last and final question, quick answer. How far are we from one nation, one country?
I don't think in the next 10 years even we will achieve that.
Azad Saleh, thank you very much for being on Newsline. And that's the way it is from Newsline on the 9th of June 2017. Take care. God bless.